हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. So we were discussing how knowing the uh, anarthas, no, not anarthas, how we are conditioned, we can come out of the condition. So that in knowledge is also very important for us. So that's the first aspect. And then we discussed how at the problems in this material world, even in the society, a very high class society like Swayambhu Manu also, there are problems. Such a very serious problem that the son is leaving the home and going to the forest. And Prabhupada is also writing. And we also discussed how Uttanapada, because he is attached, that's why he has to. Attachment is because he wanted to enjoy certain pleasure. That's why he was controlled. So we are controlled in this material world because we want to enjoy. So Maya is not catching us. We are attached to Maya. So then Maya is taking advantage of our weakness. And Maya happily knows our weakness and she always make sure that we don't go and disturb Krishna in the spiritual world. So she knows our weakness and acts according to our weakness. So we have to be watchful what our weaknesses, and we have to act accordingly. So this is what we discussed yesterday. Basically, the even the previous chap section also like that. It's a problem in a high families like their Brahma, Shiva, Daksha. So there are problems at that level. And then there was a suicide by Sati because of the problem. And in this case, it's a leaving the home. So we should not be in an illusion that because maybe if I have been in a better family or if I have better financial situations, things will be better. No, in this material world, nothing is better. Even such great devotees appear from the spiritual world to help the living entities here. They also have to undergo problems. We are discussing how even uh, Lord sends his personal associates. That's a great risk, actually. They may crucify him or whatever they will do. We don't know. So, and it happened to many great personalities. So here we are trying to understand this aspect that how uh, how dangerous is this material world. So we have a hope that if something changes, maybe it's a good situation for me, maybe finance or geographical location or family. Maybe you should have a good son, good wife, good husband. But there is no my grandfather is no less. And in case of Dhruv Maharaj, his father is empowered by the Supreme Lord because he is able to rule the whole creation. What can be better than that? You have such a great father. And mother is no less. She's also very great exalted personality. And grandfather is Swayambhu Manu. Still, it didn't work for Dhruv Maharaj. So that means it won't work for anyone. And because of one weakness of his father, he has to undergo so much pain. In normal stage, we can say, "Arey, just one word somebody said, forget about it." But it won't happen like that. Say, "Arey, everything is fine. One person made some comment. Why are you taking that one comment seriously? Why don't you see so many good things are happening in his life? And you must be having a good family, good this thing, good that thing. Why are you only just worried about one insult by your stepmother?" But mind is such that we get pained by that one word only. No matter how much we try, that one word will only make us, we will only remember that one word, not all the things that are happening good in life. That is how mind works, and that is the unfortunate situation. So here we'll see that the sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidra, as a snake, when stuck by a stick, breathes very heavily, Dhruv Maharaj, having been struck by the strong words of his stepmother, began to breathe very heavily because of great anger. When he saw that his father was silent, he did not protest. He immediately left the palace and went to his mother. So this is actually what happens. We cannot see, uh, there will be so many good things happening, but unfortunately, uh, they won't appeal to us. We are always stuck in a situation where things went bad. And like say 100%, 5% good things are there and 5% are bad. Our mind will go for only this 5%. Like say the pain that comes in this world is like that. Say whole body is very good for me. And then once little finger of my left hand, it got a uh, needle in it. Now the whole consciousness of body will be in that part only, about that needle stuck in my finger. Now you may say, Arey, your 99.9% of the body is good, na? Why are you worried about that one part? But somehow the pain is created in such a way in this world that our consciousness gets stuck with that part only, in spite of everything being nice. So for Dhruv Maharaj, he has a very palatial, good palace, good house, good furniture, everything. Not that his father is not giving him that luxury. All things are there. But for Dhruv Maharaj, he could not count any of these things. He went to forest only. You may say, ठीक है, like people, they say, Arey, you have so many things nice. Why are you just... And this is the motivational people, they also speak. You count blessings, but we cannot count because mind does not count blessings. It will only count the pain which we go through. And our consciousness now go again and again to the same position. Like I wanted to enjoy, but it will again take back to a place where the pain is there. Like say uh, I was many examples you can also experience. Say a person, he had some of his family members got sick, or he is losing some money in some property, and say he has 10 properties and one of them is in problem. So now he's sitting and watching a movie or enjoying food or anything. Somehow now his mind takes to that loss which he is going to get because of that property. And he becomes unhappy. Arey, 9 properties which are very big, you are good now. Why are you thinking of that and being unhappy? So you cannot enjoy food nicely, you cannot enjoy the association of family members nicely, because that one thing is stuck for him. And unfortunately, this happens to many. Like my friend, he does many businesses. So he told me once, he said that 10, 11 businesses he does. He said all the time, uh, say 8 businesses will go very nice, 8 or 9. He said two or any one of the twos will be always in trouble. And he says that creates so much problem. And he cannot be happy because of the 9 good businesses. He will remain unhappy because of the 2 businesses. So this is how nicely material world is designed to give a living entity suffering. What is the trading is that we cannot change the situation here. Please try to understand. We have to transcend the situation. We cannot overcome the situations. The pain is going to come in different ways. What we have to learn is how to not get affected by the situation. So when we are chanting, we are trying to be aloof from what is happening in this material world. That is the art. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. This is the art of living. not to get affected by what is happening around, because nothing is going to happen good, unfortunately. It's a good news or bad news, whatever. This is the news that this material world is not going to be good anytime. Maybe some breaks will be there in between, gap between two sufferings, but we have to work on transcending. Don't be part of that situation. Be aloof from the situation. Not that we are irresponsible. We are responsibly acting, but not getting affected, because our mind is stuck with something else, not of this problem. Our mind is with Krishna and spiritual activities, devotional activities. So at the end of life, even though everything goes bad, like Prabhupada, this famous example is there when there was a case in America, then there was problem with the Juhu land, and then so many one problem after the one problem. Then there was some disciples who are trying to say Prabhupada is Supreme Lord and other things. And suddenly, one telegram comes, and it's a very terrible news. And they give to Prabhupada. Prabhupada takes this telegram and he goes to his room. And one devotee secretary wanted to know. I think the time Harikesh Swami was there. He wanted to see what Prabhupada will do. And he was started looking through the keyhole. And Prabhupada went to the room and he laid on the floor and holding his ankles. He was giggling and smiling and happily, rolling up front and back. And that means Prabhupada was completely aloof. He is just unaffected by what is happening in this. But that is actually what we need. That we don't get affected by what. So here we see that Dhruv Maharaj, got stuck, and he was so badly stuck. And it happens to everyone. And he says, when Dhruva reached his mother, his lips were trembling in anger, and he was crying very grievously. Queen Suniti immediately lifted her son onto her lap, while the palace residents, who have heard all the harsh words of Suruchi, related everything in detail. The Suniti also became greatly aggrieved. And there, important thing is about the nature. It's a Kshatriya nature. So Dhruva was Kshatriya. So this is actually the main reason why he got so much stuff. So we respond to what happens to us based on our nature. Say if he is a Brahmana, he would have responded differently. Is a Vaishya, he responds differently, Kshatriya responds differently. So that is also a very important thing to understand. What is right and wrong is not based on right response, wrong response. It is not based on the situations. It is based on nature. The Kshatriya, if you tell, oh, I forgave my mother, then Kshatriya will say, you are stupid. You are impotent. Klaibyam mam samagamam partha naitat upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are a eunuch. He said, Arjuna is telling, I am forgiving, I will go to the forest. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are a eunuch. But he is telling that, forgiveness is the first quality of a Brahmana. If it is a Brahmana, he cannot take revenge. He said, oh, when Bhima was told about Dronacharya, he said, what type of Brahmana is he is fighting? Because he should forgive. Like we have this famous story of Utanka. He goes to the king's palace and king offered some charity to him. There was a hair stuck in it. So he said, you gave me a contaminated hair. I curse you that you will lose some kingdom. He gives some curse. And the king also becomes upset. He said that, no, I gave a good thing, but you curse me. I also curse you. And then later on, king sees that it really had some hair in it. So he becomes repentant and he asks forgiveness. And Utanka says, okay, I forgive you. I will take back my curse. And you can say the king, you also take back your curse. You also unnecessarily cursed me. And the king says, no, I cannot take back. I am still angry. I am upset. As I am a Kshatriya. So he does not take his curse back. Utanka said, not an issue because I can handle it. I will not get affected by it anyway. So the point here is, a Kshatriya cannot do it, what a Brahmana can do. So for what is right for a Kshatriya may not be right for a Brahmana. So it's not right or wrong question. It's based on nature and response. If we say we are forgiving, then we say, oh, then if you are a Kshatriya, then Krishna says, Arey, you are a eunuch. And if you are a Brahmana, if you are fighting, then you said you are not a Brahmana. We cannot do it. You have to forgive like that. So, like that is the reason Yudhishthira Maharaj was criticized many times because he used to forgive. So here Dhruva Maharaj was affected, and Suniti affecting is also because of her womanly nature, and that is true. Mother, she feels sad for it. This incident was unbearable for Suniti's patience. She began to burn as if in forest fire, and in her grief, she became just like a burnt leaf and so lamented. As she remembered the words of her co-wife, her bright lotus-like face filled with tears, and thus she spoke. Proper eyes, when a man is aggrieved, he feels exactly like a burnt leaf in a forest fire. Suniti's position was like that. Although her face was beautiful as lotus flower, it dried up because of burning fire caused by the harsh words of her co-wife. Actually, Suniti got many times such ill treatment through her husband, and maybe she might have heard some words through her co-wife indirectly also, but directly or indirectly. But what made her more painful is when Dhruva was insulted, that hurt her so much because she can tolerate if somebody says something, okay, let it be. This is my karma. But when it happens to somebody you love, that cannot be tolerated. That is more painful. So Suniti might have got because the treatment which Uttanapada is doing to Suniti was painful to her, but she was able to tolerate, understanding, okay, my karma, what can I do? But she didn't tolerate this, and that is correct also. And anything. That's why if Vaishnavas, this is actually very important. If somebody insults us, we should tolerate. If somebody insults other great Vaishnava, that we should not tolerate. And if we are in a managerial position, then we should take action. If you are not manager, somebody insults, we should tolerate. So we have to understand this principle. And then she says she also was breathing very heavily and she did not know the factual remedy for the painful situation. Not finding any remedy, she said to her son, my dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffers himself that from that pain. So such a valuable instruction for all of us. Actually, recently I got a call. One devotee uh, sharing that how they were cheated. So this devotee got cheated and very badly cheated, and the whole situation is explained. Now the question was, why did this happen to me? What did I do? And you know, now for the devotee to trust anybody becomes very painful. And no, you did so much for the person, and then the person is cheating for no reason. Of course, he has some reason. He is conditioned to cheat, but the cheating was very bad cheating. Uh, um, And actually, the main damage what happens is, say now I wanted to help some other devotee. I feel, no, why should I do it when this person may also cheat? So that's the greatest damage that we can do. Like we have this a very nice parable. One thief, he disguised like a, like a, what do you say, destitute person, and he was sitting on a pathway in the forest. And one uh, some business person, merchant was going on the way. He saw, oh, he's a very destitute person, so he went near him and wanted to help. So then this thief, he immediately, he he robbed him and he started running away. And then this merchant, he said, actually, don't tell anybody this incident. That's what he tells. And the thief was curious. He said, why should I not tell? He said, actually, people want to serve somebody who's in destitute situation. And if you tell this incident, then people will be scared to serve anybody like that, because they may feel that he may be a robber and he will rob. So they will not do that service. So if you don't tell anyone, then people continue to serving, because otherwise they will feel that there this person is acting, but he may be a robber, he may steal me and run away. So that is actually what happens when people go through some bad experiences. They lose trust, and that's a great danger we get, because when we cannot trust the saintly people, and then because if we trust the saintly people, then only we can trust Krishna, and then only we can make advancement. Like, so anyway, the point what I want to tell is that this cheating happens, and then we are all stuck there. And but the most important thing what Suniti is giving, see, this is best instruction we should learn. My dear son, don't wish anything inauspicious for others. If you want to learn any instruction, this is the best instruction of the day. Try to practice. Anybody did wrong to us? No. So don't wish inauspiciousness. This is such a valuable thing. What happens is we are not we are not damaging our mind. We are not damaging mind by doing this. Otherwise, our mind get damaged, and we want to free our minds. This is actually called offense. Offense to the mind. So anything, actually this world, na, very important instruction, important to remember is this material world is very offensive, especially Kali Yuga, not material world. The present time is very offensive. The Kali Yuga environment is very offensive environment. So because of which, na, to protect ourselves, we become offensive, because best defense is to offend. So with the age of Kali, this is the symptom of age of Kali. It's very, very offensive. And because of which we are offensive. We become offensive. Especially if we are in cities, we are very, very offensive. Any news channel, any social media, so much offensive, so much offensive. You try to criticize others, find fault in others, ridicule others, make fun of others. All these things are offensive. If you are hearing anybody criticizing others, it is damaging our mind. That's what we should see. If we are getting pleasure in seeing the pain of others, we are damaging our mind. If we are hearing criticism or fault finding, whole news is filled with that. This person ended up in doing this scam, this person did this person went into, damage, this. And whatever our mind is responding, we should know we are damaging it. I am not telling that you should not know about this, what is happening in the world, but the way it is explained is very offensive. It's very damaging. We should know for sure. And any pleasure, okay, now devotees are so much interested what happens in the politics and here, there, this bill passed, that bill passed, this is happening. And so we are actually uh, going in an offensive zone, which is damaging our mind and is damaging our chanting ultimately, right? Because the whole environment is like that. We should be very careful. You see, of all the instructions, Suniti could have told, okay, my dear child, oh, no problem, no problem. Things happen like this. What she's telling, the first thing, don't wish any inauspicious for others. See, even that is the first thing she's telling. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffers himself from that pain. So don't think inauspicious. And it's such a important thing for all of us to do. And it requires a very conscious endeavor not to get affected. And any word that is the whole environment is so we also, because we are hearing always offensive way, the people are offensive, we also become like that. We lose our innocence. If we are innocent, we can experience the pleasure in chanting the holy name very fast. Just chanting one name of Krishna, tears will come. So his Holiness Bhakti Gyan Maharaj was sharing that he was in Bali. Bali is such a beautiful place and people are very innocent. And he said that they worship many demigods. They have many rituals and they say 70% of their income they spend in rituals only. Very innocent people. And there will be big whole market selling so many of these products, different for performing rituals. And some part will be there for general regular items. And he said that one person came to meet Maharaj and he was explaining that, oh, I do this puja, that puja, I am devotee of Shiva, this, that. And he said, I also have Bhagavad Gita at home, Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita as it is. I know. And as soon as he said the name of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita, immediately his hair started standing on end. And he immediately tells to me, see. As, his hair was really standing on end. And he said, as soon as I say Krishna and Bhagavad Gita, he is feeling ecstasy. And next day he comes again. And again he is discussing with Mara and said, Krishna, and again his hairs are standing on end. He says, see, he's showing to Maharaj, my hair is standing on end. As soon as so just by saying the name of Krishna, his hairs are standing on it because he's very innocent. He's not doing any offenses. No offense. No offense is there. Immediately one name of Krishna, hairs will stand on it. And I, because of staying in city, lost all innocence. Very offensive. Even if little bit here and there goes against me, I blast. Nowadays, I became more offensive compared to what I was 10 years back. I don't know. Maybe 5 years back also I was not offensive. I became very offensive. I feel very bad for myself. Sorry for myself now. Because of this environment I got, maybe I had to stay in Bali for some time to become innocent again. So anyway, so but this is a very valuable. I like this instruction. Many times I feel that such a nice thing what Suruti said uh, to her son. Don't wish anything inauspicious. And this is why, because some people did something wrong to me, and whenever I hear anything bad happen to them, there is some subtle pleasure. Yes, he's getting reaction for the karma which he did to me. It's actually not correct. We should know that we are damaging ourselves. Suniti said, "My dear brother, boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi is so, because the king, your father, does not consider me his wife or even his maidservant. He feels ashamed to accept me. Therefore, it is a fact that you have taken birth from the womb of an unfortunate woman, and by being fed from her breast, you have grown up." So now, uh, Suruchi, Suniti is trying to pacify him by saying that, you have to accept reality, and this is reality. So the instruction here is first instruction is forgive, second is accept reality. So this instruction is forgiveness and don't wish inauspiciousness. And this will not go against the nature also. Like Dhruva had a Kshatriya spirit, but he Suniti don't want him to be revengeful. She want him to act in a different way. That's actually what she is going to tell. We have to forgive, but not stop acting. And that is very important. And here she says that accept reality. So the reality is your father don't accept me, then how can you claim something higher? Because your father don't treat me like his wife, so you cannot get the same facility as Uttama. So to accept it, and you are born from my womb, I am unfortunate, so you should accept it. And that means don't blame. Accept reality is also means don't blame. You cannot say, oh, this is because of this. No, you are born from an unfortunate and you are born in an unfortunate situation, but accept it. Then she says that, my dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear, is factual. Therefore, see, this is very important. You can take good instructions from wrong people also. And not only that, uh, we can also get out, means the reality is like that. No, we have to accept the truth. Therefore, if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepbrother Uttama, then give up your envious attitude. So actually, Suruchi is such a Suniti is such a great mother. She gives such valuable instruction. Give up your. Actually, because of this only, Dhruva could attain success because he just followed. First thing is, he gave up. He did not wish anything bad. He gave up his envious attitude. Because we hear, na, Dharma projita kaita otra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. We can understand Bhagavatam when we give up envy. We can attain Supreme Lord when we give up envy. So, Suniti is telling, give up your envious attitude. That's all. And that's actually works. So, if I want to chant my japa, I should give up my uh, offensive attitude, envious attitude. Then my quality of japa will increase. If I offend someone, then Krishna will not accept. So we hear this famous story from Mahabharata where after Rajya sacrifice every day, the end of the day, to to prove or to know that all the rituals and everything went correctly, the bell should ring. On its own, it rings. And one day it did not ring. And everybody was surprised. No, what offense happened? And then then they had a meeting and then they all looked at Krishna and said, you tell. He said, one Vaishnava was not fed. He was very humble, nobody recognized him. So they call him, they feed, they get Draupadi cooks nicely and then they start serving him. And he had a habit of mixing everything and eating. He does not eat everything separately. He is not interested in any taste. So Draupadi felt, Arey, I made so many varieties and this fellow is mixing everything and eating. She just felt like that in the mind. and then and then he made it, he left, and everybody was looking at the bell. Bell did not ring. Then I said, looked at Krishna. Krishna said, somebody offended. And everybody looked at Draupadi. And Draupadi said, I just thought that this fellow, I made everything and he's just eating without any taste. Then they said, okay, what to do? Call him again. And they again go and said, please come again for prasadam. He said, I just ate. He said, no, 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 please come. And then they forcefully bring him. And this time again, the nice items are made. And they said, Draupadi, you need not serve anymore now. You can be out. And then they feed him nicely. And then bell rings. So what Krishna want to establish with this incident, that even one person is, you are offending him or not caring, Krishna will not be pleased. Your sacrifice is not complete. And every day we are doing sacrifice of chanting the holy name. Ours is Sankirtan Yajna. So for my chanting to be successful, that means the sacrifice which I did today to be successful, I should not offend anyone. So that is the point. So here, if you are offensive, if you are envious, Krishna cannot be achieved. he cannot do meditation. So because he gave up this envious attitude, he could meditate on the Supreme Lord. So that is a secret. Our meditation is getting so much distracted because of this offenses only, anarthas only. And we are getting so much distracted. I sit for chanting, and after few mantras or few rounds, immediately mind goes here, there, and again you have to bring it back. So the Prabhupada writes the harsh word used by Suruchi to her stepson. And of course, then she says that, and immediately try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. Right? The harsh word used by Suruchi in to her stepsons were true because unless one is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot achieve any success in life. Man proposes, God disposes. Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, agreed with her co-wife's advice that Dhruva engage himself in the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now we may say, Array, instructions were given by Suruchi also and Suniti also, but there is a great difference. When Suruchi, she gave the instructions, she told that you have to go to Supreme Lord. She was actually, she was very sarcastic. But the Abhidheya, the Abhidheya was properly given by Suniti only. Because the important instruction is not just meditating, the consciousness with which we should meditate. That is what is explained by the mother. Give up offensive attitude, give up envious attitude, then only it is possible to worship Supreme Lord. So indirectly, the words of Suruchi were a benediction for Dhruva Maharaj, for because of the influence of his stepmother's word, he became a great devotee. So Suruchi, she gave that instruction, but the consciousness, how to do it, they are given by. So not just meditating, but pure consciousness. So for that, that's why so much we discuss on anartha and everything. See, very important point I'll tell. This offenses, no, in other sampradaya, they don't give much. Other sampradayas, they don't much give importance. Means they don't much do. Of course, Ramanujacharya's instructions are there in the about offenses. Very nice instructions you give, but they don't generally discuss so much like how anartha nivritti we discuss. Because even with this mentality, one may reach Vaikunta, but he cannot get prema. We are so much with prema, that's why we are so much with offenses. Because we don't want to lose that prema to Lord. We want to develop that prema. That's why we are very careful in the quality. That's why Bhagavatam is also explaining. So, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, yes, they are there. But anyway, that's a different topic. We'll come back to our topic. Oh, sorry. I didn't see the time. Okay, any questions, comments? Thank you all very much. We'll end here. Tarantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.